Hi, this is History Literacy Ready, Unit 1, Lesson 7, Research Project, Identifying and Annotating Sources. In this lesson, students are going to find 5 good sources for their research project, which they began in Lesson 4. They're going to annotate, summarize, and evaluate the sources. They're going to cite the sources using whatever teacher-approved citation format you decide on. And they're going to identify some new vocabulary words from their readings. So what do you need to know? Well, this lesson requires students to choose good sources, those sources that are relevant and trustworthy or credible. And it gives you an opportunity to help students learn what to look for when doing internet searches, if that's the kind of source they're going to be using. And this can lead to some pretty strange choices, that internet search, if they're not supervised. So the reason this is a good activity is because there have been many research studies that have suggested that students really don't know how to search very productively. You may not have all of those tools available to you either, so I suggest that you enlist your librarian in helping you with this assignment. And you might need to require some after-school time because students will have widely varying success in finishing the work within a particular time frame. So if you take them to the library for one period and work with a librarian, you can't guarantee that everybody who has worked in that library for a period is going to find all 5 of their sources that are going to be credible and relevant. The first activity is they're just reading the directions. Students are reading the directions and discussing what makes a source credible and relevant. They are reading an extended example for how they'll summarize and evaluate each of the sources, and they're going to discuss the elements of the summary that they're going to write. And again, there is an example of a summary. I would suggest that teachers pre-read the model that's provided for the summary and discussion of the source, and you can work through this model, which is there, with your students, or if you would rather, you can model your own processes for doing this. If you've done some research in the past, or if you know of something, how you would then build a summary of a source and discuss its credibility and relevance to the research project. This activity requires students to write a summary, and some students will really not know how to do that. So the checklist that is there for students to use provides some concrete guidelines. The model will show how these guidelines are enacted, and what you can do is you can work back and forth between the checklist and the model. That is, you're going to go over the model, then when you get to the checklist, talk about each of the items on the checklist and help students to find where those are instantiated in the model itself, and that will help them figure out how they're going to be writing their summaries.